What is going on, everybody? It is episode 946 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, and I am here once again with my co-host. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. Brett's just leaving. He's abandoning me in the studio. He's running away. Oh, he was just doing me a favor by moving this microphone out of the shot. Thank you for that, Brett.
I actually don't know if it was in the shot, but it was going to annoy me.
It was just going to make you feel some type of way.
So there are days where when I record like one of the separate videos and I start recording and I get about a minute in and I notice the microphone is like over in the shot. Let me see if you could check it from the PT. Yeah, you can't really see it from the PTZ camera, but it's like, it's not in the shot. It was just in the way enough to annoy me.
Yeah. Well, guys, there is a $20 super chat before I read that. Or before I forget to read that. By the way, Brett, I hate to bother you, but I can't hear myself as well as I would like. Okay. So I'm going to start reading this from Corey Anderson. I'm effing tired of rich people like Billie blaming people richer than she is for the world's problems. I just hope I get effing paid tomorrow so I can pay. This is fine. Pay my MFing mortgage. How are these people so effing delusional? That's a lot of F-bombs, dude. I think that
gotta watch the language.
You gotta just let it go. It's a dumb celebrity saying something dumb. You shouldn't let it get to you that much.
Do you want to read it? Who said what? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
It was Corey Anderson complaining about Billie Eilish.
Well, we're gonna get into that. Don't worry. What's gonna happen?
There will be plenty of time for that.
We're gonna bring some rationale to your anger. That way you'll feel a little bit more okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you good now?
Thanks for running all those errands for me.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
Well, we were doing a bunch of like stuff before the show.
There's an audio issue.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing.
Your headphones are good though.
We're all good.
Okay. All right, guys, hit the like button on this video, please, and subscribe to the channel. If you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already, please and thank you. Remember to share the video out with everybody. The more people that you share it with, the faster this channel can grow. It is the best way to help us out. Thank you guys so much for that. We do have a bunch of stuff to get into, and one of those things is, of course, what is drawing the ire of Corey, which is Billie Eilish, who, she got on stage at one of these, events where they're always at, patting each other on the back. Is it sponsored by the Wall Street Journal? Mm-hmm. It's the worst.
The Innovator Awards.
Even worse. So she was on the stage and she was saying, hey, billionaire people, don't keep your money, give your money away. Maybe we can get into a discussion about like what actually separates millionaires and millionaires when it comes to how they contribute to society. Because I went down a weird rabbit hole the other day when the Miss Rachel tweet came out about nobody needs $1 billion. It wasn't a tweet.
Miss Rachel?
Miss Rachel, it wasn't a tweet. It was like at another one of these events, and she said basically nobody needs $1 billion.
Miss Rachel did?
Yes, people need food.
Hold on, let me find this. I didn't know about this. You didn't mention it.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about Billie Eilish. We're gonna talk about the celebrity disdain for billionaires. We're also gonna talk about Maya Hawke, who is the best kind of Nepo baby, which is the unaware Nepo baby, who isn't even objectively, cognizant of the fact that she's gotten a leg up in Hollywood. And we always have fun debating, the ins and the outs of what it means to get that leg up.
That New Yorker article about the Hollywood Nepo babies, the list of all of them. Yeah. They never recovered from it. It truly left a scar in all of their psyches. They were never able to move on after that. That one New Yorker article just broke them. What
you have to do is then when you bring that up to them, be like, that's what the average white person feels like when you talk about white privilege. Yeah. Like you've got a leg up and there's even if you don't feel like you do. That's what your general premise is. You're saying that
the opposite is true, which is that you actually do benefit from nepotism, and white people don't have white privilege.
So we'll talk about it. We are going to talk about Maya Hawke. We are also going to talk about the return of it's the homemade robot apocalypse.
We are always early to almost everything. We talked about these robots sold as your own personal humanoid house servant, back in September of last year. And now they finally have come out with the final version that is up for sale. And it's called Neo. It has a different design than the one we originally saw, and we'll talk about that. But most of all,
it's cuddlier.
It looks cuddlier, but they did not improve the tech. It is a total scam. Okay. It is not as advertised and you're literally just inviting an Indian call center into your house. Like, that is literally what's happening. And you're also giving them free data. You're actually not giving them free data. You're paying to give them
That's
data.
Even worse. Yeah.
You're paying to do that.
We got that. We got a bunch of other stuff. If you're ready then, Mary, we can just go ahead and get started. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready.
Let's go for it.
You guys, the wokesters, the liberal snowflakes are triggered once again by Sydney Sweeney because she's based and red-pilled. I just can't take this seriously anymore. I know that they're genuinely mad. Sydney Sweeney just... look, I don't know anything about sports, but Sydney Sweeney did a cameo appearance for Game 4 of the World Series. Yes. I don't know what that means because I don't follow sports, but she was featured on Fox Sports and did this intro for everyone with her best Fox News impression.
Yeah, here we go. Are we gonna get?
She's literally dressed like every woman at CPAC.
Magic, right? Why not romanticize a bit?
It is giving CPAC vibes.
Yeah.
Their names exactly where they belong.
She went to the Megyn Kelly School for Dress.
Right. High above the streets and shining lights. Why not? Because the truth is, chasing this dream isn't glamorous. It's not perfect or effortless. It's over 170 games.
I would like to know people's opinions on the sliding glove in baseball. If you follow baseball, and I'm sure we've got some baseball fans in there, what do you feel about wearing the glove, the mitt when you slide? I would like to know.
I didn't know there was
Let
a
me know,
controversy
guys.
around that.
It's dog days, summer days, and rainy days. Winning, real winning, isn't polished. There's a play. He's out. It's earned. It's everything you can't fake. It's beautiful on its own. Let's just save the Hollywood for the ending. Welcome to Game 4 of the World Series on Fox.
Imagine all the independent contractors it takes to get this stuff done in time. So it's funny. I actually look at this as overkill. Baseball it's very easy to be romantic about baseball. It is. Baseball is a beautiful sport, and it's right in line with her image, given that she is kind of become this quasi symbol of Americana. Would you think that is kind of accurate?
I suppose so.
She is a symbol of Americana now, and baseball is America's pastime. It is more than any other sport. Baseball is tied into the national identity. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm here for it. She's tell. She's picking the right battles for herself.
It depends on the headline. Who is mad at this? It's either the baseball fans or woke liberals, depending on which media outlet you ask. Yeah. Page 6 says she has now sparked fury among World Series fans. And New York Post says Sydney Sweeney causes liberal meltdown for the crime of making a cameo during World Series coverage. Who's mad?
Nobody's actually mad.
I don't understand. They've cited a few tweets. One of them said, "Why the hell am I watching Sydney Sweeney promote the World Series? Trash." Another one said, "The only thing more wooden than Sydney Sweeney's delivery of that World Series hype spot is an actual baseball bat."
Okay, I will say it's not like it was the most emotive of monologues. I'm not going to call it like the highlight of the day. No.
There wasn't a lot of expression in her voice.
This is a certain type of female privilege. You don't have to be. You don't have to be. And that's okay.
I mean, I feel like people are more excited about the outrage that exists in their own minds over Sydney Sweeney than the actual outrage, because I just didn't see any of it.
Yeah.
People are saying like, "Oh, I see a Dem meltdown incoming."
Okay, so the conservatives do love to make it hyperbolic.
How many libtard heads just exploded?
None.
Literally
0.
No one cares.
A couple of people were like, "I don't like this."
Every liberal watching the World Series just lost their shit when Sydney Sweeney showed up. Gotta love it. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not that big of a deal. She also shared these selfies at a Dodgers game. There she is, licking a hot dog. I'm sorry. This is just crazy. This is crazy. You cannot take a selfie licking a hot dog and not get made fun of for that.
You know what it is, man? She's entered Paul Livy Dunn territory. That's
No,
I'm saying it's Livy Dunn's territory. She is the famous Instagram model who is dating a pro baseball player. So there's
Paul
always
Skeens.
photos of her at games.
She's not taking selfies licking hot dogs. I'm sorry.
I meant she's in her territory, like she's in her orbit.
turf.
Yes, I wasn't saying she was taking on something that she would do.
Well, Sydney Sweeney took this selfie, and there were more comments about like, oh my gosh, the libtards are so triggered.
They're so upset.
I don't know. I just don't think they're triggered. I didn't see evidence of this.
I'm looking for was there any? Yeah, it's just her at a game.
I'm getting anti-woke fatigue, guys. I'm going to be real with you.
Like
I'm getting anti-woke fatigue.
It's like everything is a symbol that if the vibe shift is real, just let the vibe shift exist.
Right. You don't need to prop up the vibe shift if it's actually happening.
Yeah, I don't want subsidized vibe shifts. I don't want like fake vibe shifts.
If the vibe is shifting, just let the vibe shift.
That's what
you don't have to do any work.
I'm with you on that. I mean, people on Reddit are kind of being rude. Somebody said this woman does not turn down a paycheck, as opposed to the vast majority of people that do, that are like, hey, whoa, more money? No thanks. That's not a thing.
So I guess
unless you're George Lucas and you sell Lucasfilm and give most of it to charity.
There has been a lot of criticism of the sponsorships that she takes on. I'm sure she has an overabundance of offers on the table, and she's very selective about which ones she takes. And usually they're ones like this that appeal to a male audience. Yeah,
she's a fantastic brand marketer. She knows exactly who to go after.
Yeah. And then at the Variety Power of Women event in Los Angeles, we're not going to show pictures.
Yes, I literally don't think that we can.
She literally showed up in like basically a see-through dress with her tits out, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, that's not empowering.
Yeah.
Like
tactical. It's calculated.
Yeah, it's just a cheap attention grab. It's literally like, look at my tits. I'm sorry, I'm never gonna find that to be.
You know why she did
behavior.
that, right? Because Jamie Lee Curtis was there, and she's like, I'm. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Like, I'm sorry, flashing the world and licking hot dogs is not respectable behavior. It might benefit your career in the short term, I guess. That's what she's after, but I don't think it's respectable.
You know what I think it is? And we'll get to that 20 in just a second. I think part of it is like this, people believe that this type of behavior like disappeared from society because Hollywood wasn't pushing it anymore, or the mainstream wasn't pushing it anymore. This is the average, the average everyday behavior of an Instagram model all the time. But the difference is now it's co-signed by the same places that hold the Power of Women Summit. Well, so somehow they believe that this type of sex appeal is being reintroduced to mainstream society as opposed to internet culture.
I don't even mean influencers or people with platforms. We've all known girls who act like this.
Yes, but I'm saying, the whole point of Sydney Sweeney is that it was culturally accepted. She was the person who said, like, I look this way and it's okay for you to look. Instagram models always doing that type of stuff. In the mainstream Hollywood press, that has been shunned and frowned upon for not a very long time, but at least the last 5 to 10 years.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm looking at like Emily Ratajkowski rubbing spaghetti on her tits.
But she was still anti-man in her rhetoric, in the way she talked.
Yeah.
All of those, the Julia Foxes, the Emily Ratatouilles, all of them had look at me dressed like this and then be disgusted that you looked.
We have a 20 from Pop Culture Junkie. Sorry, we delayed on that. Okay, I'll admit, I think Sydney Sweeney is a reasonably good actress and a smart producer and businesswoman, but she kind of phoned it in for that promo.
All her stuff sounds like that to me. Yeah. All her stuff sounds like that to me.
Yeah, look at any clips of her acting in Euphoria, or Anyone But You, especially. Yeah. Acting is not her strong suit, which is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
She's clearly had a lot of success in other ventures, but
wait, so are you saying that like conservatives are becoming like, when they say like the desire for racism has exceeded like the demand for racism has exceeded, is that like what woke is now? It's like
the demand for wokeism has exceeded the supply. It's true.
Okay.
They're digging for it. And like, yes, wokeism still exists. In fact, we're about to talk about an example of it in a moment. But I don't know. I feel like there's more hunger for outrage from the left over Sydney Sweeney specifically than exists in reality.
There you go. It equates to clicks, and it reaffirms the worldview of people who feel like they fought through the war between the woke people and the anti-woke people, if you want to use that word.
I think that she's definitely cultivated an air of mystery around herself because she doesn't share her opinions often. She doesn't share about her life, her relationships, her background much beyond the surface level.
She just looks at the cue card and reads whatever they say and says it in the same monotone voice.
It's a bit of a callback to a Marilyn Monroe type of figure who we only know based on the way she presents herself. We don't have a lot of her oversharing on social media or telling her personal stories, complaining about things. Even in that Variety interview that they did with her, it was like heavily implied that she has experience as a domestic violence victim.
But she didn't say anything.
And she insisted on not elaborating, but it was very clear that was where they were headed with the interview. And I guess I appreciate that she's willing to keep certain parts of herself to herself. Just maybe you should keep your tits to yourself.
Okay.
Like, maybe we shouldn't display that to the entire world. You know, maybe just have some class about that.
Okay. All right. Let's move on.
So I knew that Glamour honored Rachel Zegler with Woman of the Year and several others. But this I learned about just today. Glamour UK has honored a list of 9 transgender activists with Woman of the Year. They're on this cover with each other wearing the Protect the Dolls t-shirt, which you've probably seen on Pedro Pascal and Tilda Swinton and a number of other celebrities. It's a t-shirt designed by a designer named Connor Ives, who has donated, at this point, over $600,000 of the proceeds to a charity called Trans Lifeline. And they're promoting it on this magazine cover with all of these trans entertainers and artists. I have not heard of a single one of them, but they published a piece alongside this magazine cover titled The Dolls. What we really crave is to work, love, and exist with dignity. As trans rights face increasing threats in the UK, Glamour honors 9 of the community's most groundbreaking voices at this year's Woman of the Year Awards. From fashion and music to charity and activism, these trailblazers work tirelessly to empower, uplift, and celebrate trans voices. So that statement at the beginning there about threats to trans rights in the UK is obviously just pointed at the Supreme Court ruling, which defined biological sex, which was pushed for by J.K. Rowling, namely, and a number of other high-profile activists. But J.K. Rowling also expressed her thoughts on the Dolls cover, saying, "I grew up in an era when mainstream women's magazines told girls they needed to be thinner and prettier. Now mainstream women's magazines tell girls that men are better at women than they are." Put succinctly and perfectly well said. It's just embarrassing for everyone involved that this even exists, and it's way behind the times that they're publishing this at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you could make the argument that this type of activism, you know, when it comes to the marketing arm of these companies, like the magazines, which are oftentimes used as activist causes, so it's a little bit past the date of when it was fashionable.
Right.
But I mean, I guess that means they're truly committed to it if they're going to do it past, you know, people would ask, like, are they just doing it? People talk about the idea of like woke activism or like woke capitalism. Like, is it really capitalism? Right. Is it really not something they believe if they're doing it past its shelf life?
It's ideological, clearly. What I find most offensive about this feature is that they had all of these trans activists do interviews about their experience of womanhood. And they have this segment called Girlhood Firsts, where they ask them about, you know, when was the first time that you felt beautiful? What was your biggest mistake when you were entering girlhood? And they're just talking about makeup. Yeah. That's all they think it is. That's why they call themselves dolls. Yeah. They actually explain the term here as well, which has come up before on the show, but it is worth repeating. They say that it's a term of affection for the trans community that originated from ballroom culture. The queer ballroom scene is an underground LGBTQ plus subculture rooted in Black and Latinx communities that originated in the mid-19th century as a response to systemic racism and exclusion within broader queer spaces. So it began with these things called drag balls that later evolved into house ballroom culture in the 1960s, where Black and Latino queer individuals created their own spaces to express gender and sexuality safely. They have participants doing walking competitions, and that's where voguing originated. Yeah. It's all performance art. That's what they think womanhood is. They think it is a performance. Yeah. And that ultimately gender doesn't exist. Obviously, no one is listening to them anymore. The most well-known of the activists featured is Monroe Bergdorf, an activist who once branded all white people racist and said that the suffragettes were white supremacists. She was named the first UK champion for UN Women UK and was previously the first ever trans woman to model for L'Oreal in 2017, prior to getting fired by L'Oreal for inflammatory remarks about race. This was a diatribe after Charlottesville, the Unite the Right rally. Yeah. Honestly, I don't have the energy to talk about the racial violence of white people anymore. Yes, all white people. Because most of y'all don't even realize or refuse to acknowledge that your existence, privilege, and success as a race is built on the backs, blood, and death of people of color. Your entire existence is drenched in racism.
So, again, it was like when I read the Wanda Sykes tweet last night that had her quote about how she would rather hire a woman than a man, and if it's a black woman, you got the job. I was like, look, they don't hate bigotry. They love bigotry. They co-sign bigotry, and they think that it's and they think somehow when they do it, it's clever, and they believe that they have a right to be bigoted towards you, and that if you are to return the favor, it somehow makes you a bad person and them not. And not understanding that the average everyday person who isn't overly political brained doesn't understand the idea of how you could say all people when they themselves have not done anything to you. That's operating in a level of good faith that they refuse to operate in.
Well, I wanted to understand their definition of protecting the dolls, and it's very clear. It means give us money.
Oh, of course.
Says, on the day of our shoot, most of the cover stars pointed out that the main way you protect a doll is to book one. More than just affection, trans women need employment opportunities and money to enjoy true security and autonomy. So literally just give us jobs for free. Give us money for no reason.
I would love that type of security as well.
They mention a trans-led initiative known as 5 for 5 in the UK, which provides mutual aid to trans women and gives them support monetarily. So, yeah, that's what that means. I'm honestly surprised that, given the social climate of the late 2010s, L'Oreal actually did fire this person for saying that all white people are racist.
Yeah.
Maybe that wouldn't have taken place in 2020, but we're certainly well past people's threshold of patience for this type of activism at this point. Even according to Don Lemon, now liberals are using trans as an insult for biological women. Yep. He recently was on a podcast where he insulted Megyn Kelly, calling her clockable.
Kelly chopped?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what is chopped. I've heard it, but I don't know what that means. What does chopped mean?
She's gonna get mad at me, dude. I don't know if I want this heat.
What is I wouldn't want.
I don't
that
think
heat.
you want heat.
I don't
with
think
Megyn
you
Kelly.
want that heat.
Nah.
Chop means.
Chop means like not hot.
Yeah, she's chopped. I don't know, the whole MAGA look.
It's all the MAGA ladies.
Too much.
Look. Kind of looks like a Barbie doll covered in like WD-40.
I think she looks trans.
Let's end on that.
I think those guys clocked right away that what he just said was not
and then
acceptable.
he doubled down at the end.
I know. She looks clockable.
She looks clockable.
I guess he believes that because he is gay and black that makes it okay for him to say that. But those other guys, they're like, yo, we're white. We can't say that.
Like right now.
Yeah.
And speaking of the shifting attitudes about LGBT activism, I just saw this survey from YouGov as of just a few days ago. This is from U.S. respondents. Same-sex marriage should be legal, according to 54% of those polled, and illegal, according to 33%.
And you said that's the lowest in how long?
I'm not sure the last time that it was surveyed. Yeah. Did you find out?
No, I mean, I always assumed that was it last year.
It must have been a majority of Americans that were pro same-sex marriage in 2015, of course.
Yeah.
But that has shifted significantly, and especially support amongst Gen Z for LGBTQ rights.
I mean, I'm assuming that's
been declining steadily.
Is that becoming a gendered issue?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, like that's the way I see it.
Absolutely.
It's becoming a gendered issue.
Because obviously Gen Z men are shifting rightward, Gen Z women are shifting leftward. They're going in opposite directions. I think that's what's dragging their numbers down.
Yeah.
But I saw this and I was like, let's shoot for 40, guys.
It's a response to the ham-fisted way in which that they approach the discussion. So I've kind of made the point infinite times lately, as I've pointed out, that the best way to get people on your side isn't to show some bumbling idiot who's against your cause, but to show cool characters or characters you at least like supporting your cause. And that's how they did it in the 2010s.
Up until a certain point.
But then it became ham-fisted, and you had to throw in the guy who would be really, really over the top and bigoted and stuff like that. And that's always clockable as something that people can tell that the writer went out of their way to do that. Whereas, like, if you just watch any television show from the 2010s, if there was a character that was gay, the main characters would go out of their way to be like, I don't care. Because that's how most people felt, and that's how most people, maybe not in this audience, but that's how most people feel. Not talking about the activism side of it, not talking about the T and the Q and the far side of it, but what it was back in 2010 with the idea that, we're just like you. All we want is the right to get married. And that's how it was sold to people. But then, of course, it went extremely far the other direction. It's still going far the other direction, given what we're seeing for stuff like this. The media has pulled back because it's not monetizable the way that they thought it was. And the public soured on it because it's ham-fisted in the way they approach it. You can't do that level of hatred and vitriol in a non-ham-fisted way.
Well, even Megyn Kelly and J.K. Rowling, who we just mentioned, still maintain that they are pro-gay.
Yeah. I mean,
and they just are objecting to the excesses of the activist class. However, I think they've made a mistake, and they should own up to that, and not realizing maybe 10 years ago that this is exactly where we were heading. It was clear to conservatives that there's a slippery slope. We have watched it happen in real time, and here are the results. 33% of America thinks that same-sex marriage should be overturned.
We could get into a whole discussion about like government overreach and where it falls, related to like a moral discussion with people having about, your friends and neighbors as opposed to like what the government should be enforcing. I don't think it's really the point of this. The point here is more that it is interesting that this type of activism now feels like something of a bygone era. In a very short period of time. And they're going to fight tooth and nail for anything to the contrary. They're going to call anything involving straight characters as pronatalism. They're going to call it straight propaganda, all that stuff. The difference is that the numbers are still generally on your side about most people who are straight, or if you want to say how they would describe it as normal, are just going to be like normal storylines are normal storylines. And it's just what it is. It's all very, very boring in a lot of ways. Like this to me, it's like the what that lady was saying, the activist was saying about like your basically your whiteness is your original sin. Like that type of dialogue was interesting to people in 2017 when they hadn't, when there's somebody who didn't go to any 4-year college and never had to sit through a gender studies class and hear that type of discussion. But now people have been exposed to that type of debate and that type of pseudo-intellectual discussion a hell of a lot more. So it doesn't have the same effect on people the way that it used to. The same way calling someone a racist doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. All right. What would you like to see? Cringe or cute of the day?
Let's see the cringe first. This is a good one.
Cringe.
We've seen Elevator Man on the cringe before, but he's making his return today.
All right. Here we go.
To in a romantic relationship?
Oh, not this guy, bro. I can't take this today.
Ooh, love is in the air.
It's literally the voice I do here, like when I'm making fun of somebody.
I brushed my teeth for so long last night, the toothbrush started to feel like a stranger in my mouth. Yeah. Any users, you've been so brave today. Bye-bye. Now you I'd like to sink my teeth into.
This guy's gonna catch a case someday.
This feels illegal, but I don't know.
It does. Like, this guy's gonna catch a case someday.
Like to marinate your ribs in cough syrup and lick the glaze off slow.
Bro's gonna go to jail for making terroristic threats.
Your skin does a wonderful job at containing your organs. If you were a loaf of bread, I'd let you go stale on my windowsill just to watch you harden. Yeah. Alrighty. I spent hours last night teaching my own reflection to blink at the same time as me. We're getting close. We are getting close.
I guess it's like, it would be weirder if there was no phone.
Well, he's probably wearing smart glasses.
Yeah. My goodness, I could just eat you up. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Coming in? Yeah. Perfect. You coming in too? Perfect. You also coming in?
The only person who actually likes more people getting in the elevator with him.
Perfect.
They
and
don't
you two
know
as well,
what they're
coming
getting
in?
into.
Cool. And you're coming in also? All right. And you're also...
In the chat, John Durham says one day Brett and Olivia will be stuck in the elevator with this guy.
So coming in?
You just have to, like, come on to him aggressively.
You have to meet him equally.
You have to be equally as gay. Right back at him.
Okay.
They'll
And you
catch
as
him
well?
off guard.
Oh, perfect. All right. Cool.
What are you, a comedian? He'll be here all week.
A lot of masked vigilantes in here today.
That was just a dad joke.
My country 'tis the sweet land of liberty, of thee I say.
It's actually kind of a good singer.
Are you two in a romantic relationship?
It sounded like Tim singing a little bit there.
I heard that actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Accurate.
It's actually like Tim does in his free time. Like, he takes a break from work and he goes somewhere like where there's an elevator and does that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was.
Hope you enjoy.
I think because I'm feeling under the weather, it wasn't nearly as bad as it usually is. That's what I'm thinking was going on there, because it wasn't. I was like, wow, this guy's not as annoying as he normally is.
I'm surprised that people don't swing on him every once in a while.
Maybe that does happen.
Yeah, we just don't see those videos.
I mean, like, here's the thing. I'm okay with that as long as he doesn't press charges. He has to be like.
He just has to accept
part
it.
of the game.
It's part of the gig.
Like, he's actually like, you know what? Respect.
Yeah.
I had it coming.
Yeah.
All right, this one's from Gizmo, and he just hit me with the hashtag PCC Pets. Nothing else.
Very cute.
Look at how
looks like a hat.
It's very nonchalant in the background there. Looks like he's actually, you know what it looks like? It looks like the meme of Pedro Pascal looking over the side of the car door from at Nicolas Cage.
It's a cat in a hat right there.
Yeah. Oh, there's more.
Very cute. Aww. Peaceful. Love it. Wow, we got a lot here.
Very cute. All right. Let's move on.
So Billie Eilish, along with a number of other entertainers, was invited to speak at the Wall Street Journal's Innovator Awards. There are just too many awards at this point. How are there so many awards to be given out in a given year?
I thought this was gone when USAID got pulled.
But Billie Eilish was being honored with a Music Innovator Award, And during her acceptance speech for this, she called out all of the billionaires in the room, which happened to include Hailey Bieber, by the way, who sold her beauty brand Rhode for $1 billion this year. And she's basically telling them that they should give all of their money away.
Hailey Bieber's like, have you met my husband? I am giving it away.
Okay, here is her speech.
Love you all, but there's a few people in here that have a lot more money than me. And if you're a billionaire, why are you a billionaire? No hate, but yeah, give your money away, shorties. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
No hate. I don't know if I believe that. I think there's a little bit of hatred in there. A little bit of jealousy.
I love how what they did is some genius, some absolute genius one day decided, you know what? There's a cap. We can just say billionaire and then nobody will ask us for our money. We can virtue signal all we want.
She's
it
like,
doesn't matter.
Hello, fellow rich people.
Yeah. But not my money because I don't meet the threshold.
Well, look, I wanted to mention Billie Eilish is not being a total hypocrite
No,
here.
she donated a bunch of money.
She donated $11.5 million from her ongoing Hit Me Hard and Soft tour to support food equity, climate justice, carbon reduction, and the fight against the climate crisis, whatever that means. And here's Stephen Colbert praising her for that on stage.
Here we go.
Privilege of breaking a little news to all of you tonight, and thank you, Billie, for allowing me to do this. This is extraordinary. Billie Eilish will be donating proceeds from her Hit Me Hard and Soft tour to support organizations, projects, and voices dedicated to food equity, climate justice, reducing carbon pollution, and combating the climate crisis. That donation, ladies and gentlemen, will be $11.5 million.
Not 12?
Yeah, what the hell?
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Not enough.
Like, whatever, shorties.
No hate,
You know what? Out of all the lingo that they use, I think the one I hate more than anything is climate justice. Like reducing, what is it, carbon emissions or something? That's at least something theoretically tangible. Like, okay, we're trying to reduce, we want to make new electric vehicles as long as they're not, Elon Musk's electric vehicles. But climate justice doesn't mean anything. It's a term created in academia. It doesn't have any actual definition other than donate money to NGOs, which will then be used to pay off the salaries of people who are even the worst type of wealthy. Only next to politicians, a wealthy NGO worker is only worse than a politician being wealthy. Only not as bad as a politician being wealthy.
I just wanted to mention that Billie Eilish's estimated net worth is $50 million. And
she only gave 11 million future dollars?
No one needs $50 million.
Who needs $50 million? By the way, guys, I want you guys to super chat and get us to 3 crisis parties so that I don't have to donate any money. I can keep all of it and not donate any of it to climate justice or climate change awareness or any of these types of campaigns. None of it.
She is clearly, she's living this life of opulence. Mm-hmm. She doesn't need $50 million to be comfortable.
No, she could do it with just a few $100,000. I'm sure. What do you need $50 million for? That's $49 million you could be donating to climate justice.
That's interesting. An interesting choice from Billie.
Is there a climate justice league?
Ironically, George Lucas was in the audience as well, and he sold Lucasfilm to Disney back in 2012 for $4 billion, and he pledged to donate the majority of the proceeds to philanthropy, specifically focusing on education. The funds were intended to support his George Lucas Educational Foundation and its initiative Edutopia, which promotes project-based hands-on learning in K-12 education. So this was his pledge. He actually ended up giving more money to charity than any of these people.
At least he followed through. Pledge is worthless. Remember Amber Heard?
Right. Yeah. There was no evidence that she ever made good on that promise. But George Lucas actually happens to have children, and they're not going to inherit all that money that was given away to randos. So yeah, he was in the audience, as was Ben Stiller, Spike Lee, and others. The awards show celebrates those breaking boundaries in their fields, from music, beauty, and beyond. So, yeah, Billie Eilish just wanted to signal to her stans that she's more virtuous than all the other rich people.
I asked ChatGPT what climate justice was. It says climate justice is the idea that addressing climate change isn't just about reducing carbon emissions, it's about fairness and equity. It recognizes that climate change affects people differently depending on factors like wealth, race, geography, and power, and it argues that the least responsible for the problem often suffer the most for its impact. Taylor Swift be squirming right now if she wasn't on her private jet. So you need equity and responsibility. Wealthier countries and corporations have historically produced the most greenhouse gas emissions, while poorer nations have contributed little but face severe consequences like droughts, floods, and food insecurity. Yes, I'm sure there's no other factors that contribute to any of that. I then asked how much money will it take to achieve climate justice, and predictably it says there is not a single precise number for achieving climate justice because it involves a mix of climate mitigation, adaptation, and social equity measures across the globe. But we can break it down based on estimates from international organizations, the IPCC, that's what it's called, and the UN.
The International Pop Culture Crisis?
That's what I'm guessing. It says estimate that limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius via the Paris Agreement goal will require $2 to $4 trillion per year globally. So, you know what? If you've got $50 million and we've got $4 trillion we need to achieve, what are you doing not giving 49 million of your 50 million? You could take a small chunk out of that problem.
Yeah.
You absolute buffoon.
An interesting comment here says Billie Eilish has managed to convince you all that you're closer in wealth to her than she is to Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. Taylor Swift is a billionaire, by the way. She has over $50 million. She can shut the F up and talk when she has to work in the real world and not just make some tunes for profit in her mansion. And yeah, I think that person is directionally correct.
Yeah.
She has also no concept of what it means to be a billionaire. They literally just think that, like, you can log into Jeff Bezos's bank account and look at $1 billion.
I looked
like
at
the number just has a bunch of zeros.
I was looking at when I read the Miss Rachel quote, I was like, what does Amazon spend every year in salaries? Not stock options, but salaries. And while there was no direct number correlating, they basically gave you like a basement percentage of like if 5 to 10% of Amazon's yearly production costs went into salaries alone, that would be about $55 billion in salaries. So of all the money it takes to run Amazon, 55 billion of it would go to salaries.
But
so
Jeff Bezos could divide all of his net worth, and then everyone would have $1 billion.
Of course, that's how it works. He
and
could
we would
be Batman.
all be able to buy a Happy Meal.
I think there's a fundamental difference at the base level of this discussion, which it actually is probably mostly on party lines, unfortunately, these days, which is that when you're a productive member of society, you don't need to feel as if you need to give more than what you're paying so much in taxes. Many of these people donate to charity and do plenty of things like that. Like, you don't have a right to tell anybody else how to spend their money. You don't have a right to ask for it, and therefore nobody else has a right to ask for your money. Just like your platform, if you want to break it down away from money. If you have a strong platform, I saw your thing the other day, it was like 66.6 thousand followers on Instagram, and then it went up, right? Made it to 67. It's not your job. You should feel no obligation whatsoever to promote any cause, any idea. And from what I've always been told from people that were actually charitable and giving, that charity was best done in quiet anyways, and that bragging about your, the money that you give or the charity that you donate in a lot of ways comes across as bad to a lot of people. So they don't want to do it because they're actually good people. They want to be seen talking about it and doing it.
We have a 20 from Casey Etienne. Here's 20 for some carbon pollution.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We got one crisis party. We need to get to 3 or 4 crisis parties today so that we cannot give any of it to climate justice. I'm here to get no justice for the climate. It's you guys. You can help us with that.
Well, relevant to what you just said, we do often get comments from people who scrutinize what we choose to talk about. They're saying, why are you talking about movies when there are so many more important things to talk about, like, politics?
Because that's what I want to talk about.
And we're like, we're not obligated morally to talk about your pet issue.
Yeah.
Just because you think that it's more important than whatever we're talking about, you can actually use a platform of your own to do that. Except no one would pay attention.
Well, I mean,
likely no one would pay attention.
No, but the thing is, like, the way you can sell that to them is like, look, if you are this passionate about it, that is the biggest first step when it comes to building. From what I've seen, and I don't have a huge platform, but from what I've seen, the people that do these jobs the best, the people that are the most influential, they live and breathe what they talk about, and they care a lot about it. It's a lot harder to sell people on the idea where you just talk about things because maybe that's what the algorithm is telling you to talk about. But a lot of the most influential creators, it's because that's what they care about.
This comment was funny. They said Billy is talking about the multi-billionaires, not the Taylor Swifts and Beyoncés.
Oh, move the goalposts. Like I said,
it's not the billionaires that I personally like.
Yeah.
Only the multi-billionaires.
Yep. And I've been coming into this discussion a lot more lately because I've been talking about the possibility of the Paramount merger, like the possibility of Paramount buying Warner Brothers and people getting laid off because that's what's going on at Paramount right now because they're laying people off because of the Skydance.
They're actually becoming more nimble.
Yes,
that's the new corpo speak for that. They're
more
nimbifying.
fluid. Fluid business. But the idea is, like, on one hand, I do not relish and do not want anybody to lose their job, especially the below the line creators, the ones who aren't the ones out here talking down to me and things like that. On the other hand, I understand that business is what it is and that these companies are always going to be looking to buy one another and grow their business.
Thank you.
Thank you. There it is. Can you feel the money not going to climate justice?
It feels so good not to donate any of this to climate justice. There's no better feeling in the world.
Yep. And when I have that discussion, I'm like, first, it's two things. It's like, I hate the idea of consolidation. I don't think consolidation is a good thing. I think less people getting less opportunities to be creative is bad for all of the consumers. But I'm looking at it from the impact it has on the consumers, not the impact that it has on the creatives.
Since you mentioned Miss Rachel earlier, I went and found out what she had to say about the billionaires. She is not, in fact, a billionaire, but I'm sure her net worth is in the tens of millions at this point off of her channel. She got a comment from a fan saying, "I hope you make billions because I know you'll do good with it." And she responded saying, "I'll never be a billionaire because I don't believe that's right. But thank you. I love giving." Heart
They
emoji.
don't believe that that's right. They believe that it is morally suspect to make $1 billion.
She has recently sparked online debate by stating that no one needs $1 billion and calling the accumulation of such huge wealth as gross. A post that gained widespread
attention. That's not true. Actually, Jeff Bezos needs $1 billion because there's billions of dollars in salaries that need to be paid to employees who make sure you get your packages in 2 days.
No, Jeff Bezos should just, like, Venmo all of us $1 billion, and then everyone is gonna have $1 billion, and then we're all gonna be rich.
I can't. Not understanding that that's not how it works is like, I actually brought that up recently with somebody. I was like, that's a selling, like, that's a breaking point for me. Like, if you actually believe that that's how money works and that Jeff Bezos just goes to his bank account and literally the computer screen has to be extended because there's so many zeros,
Jeff Bezos should just donate all of us one peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
He should do that. I can't. And again, whoever it was that really cemented the idea that it was one class of people, just the billionaires, and then from there moved on to just the multi-billionaires.
Yeah, it started at Bernie Sanders talking about the millionaires.
Yep, the
then he
millionaires
switched it to the billionaires. Then the Stan Twitter accounts changed it to the multi-billionaires because they can't criticize Taylor Swift.
I just, I can't with these people.
They cannot be reasoned with.
I think also a big part of it is like there's a certain type of person that hates the idea that they would be responsible for their own destiny. And that whenever they say you're licking the boot of billionaires, it's no. Somebody who wants to live their own life, make their own money, be responsible for their own fate, doesn't like the idea that you would have a say in where the sum total of his work goes. Mm-hmm. Like, what right do you have to it? And then they're like, oh, it's not you. It's this person. I was like, well, then that person's like, well, what do you like? Who does what is the guy's name? David. Does Larry Ellison go to Elon Musk and be like, you need to do better because you're not donating enough money because I'm the second richest person in the world and is Elon Musk the richest person in the world? You need to do better, Elon. Somebody needs to make that skit. They need to get together and they need to make a skit where they complain about how they're not doing enough for people.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, let's read some super chats. Shane H. Wilder said, happy Thursday, Brett and Mary. Brett, I'm rewatching Person of Interest, and the box set has an unaired extended version of the pilot with commentary.
I need to check that out.
This time Shane H. Wilder is responsible for resetting the counter.
He did. I never had the DVDs of that series. I got it on Tubi back in the day. Do you have many DVDs? I don't have any. I mean, I have like a very meager DVD collection still back home in Minnesota, but no way of playing it. If I did, but the thing is, there's so many good flea markets out here, and like antique stores that have like the stall, like the bins and the stalls where you can go, and it's a big warehouse, but everybody has like their own cubicle, and a lot of them have like whole like boxes of DVDs for like $1. If I was to rebuild it, I would just go a couple of days and be like, okay, I'm allotting $350 to buy 350 DVDs.
Did you ever steal DVDs as a kid?
No. What?
I don't know. I just heard that like millennials did this a lot where they would take it out of the box and like leave the box in the bin.
There's like, and then just put it in their pocket or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were wearing, I mean, this must have been before the tight jean craze. There's nowhere to put it. I guess
right.
Even your zip hoodie pocket's kind of like cumbersome. It's not going to work.
Shane H. Wilder said, question for Mary. This will be my first time attending the National March for Life. Do I need to sign up for anything or just go to the march? I think, like most of these types of events, if you go to the website, they're going to want you to register for something, but all they really want is to put you on an email list.
Yeah.
So in reality, no, you don't need to sign up at all. You just show up.
And if you can, what you want to do, you want to find SHAMES there because he's like a rock star at that event.
Right. Yeah. He's a.
When I went there, it was
celebrity.
like he was like Mick Jagger.
He's a Catholic celebrity.
We got a 20 on Rumble from Azog17 says, I tried Mary's coffee today, verified my email, and spent more than I paid for the coffee in order to let her know I will be going back to Ian's graphene dream. Be gone, Ghost. What?
That's so rude.
Well,
I mean, I guess thanks for at least trying it.
What did you like? Or like, what didn't you like
about it? You gave it a try.
It?
I would love to know what you didn't like about it. But Ian's is by far the most popular from what I've heard.
Adobe Kenobi, still the best username.
By the way, just going to shill since I have the opportunity. Don't listen to that guy. Go to castbrew.com.
He's wrong.
Get Mary's Ghost Blend. He's wrong. I don't care what he says. And even if he doesn't like it, you should at least give it a try. Yep. Make your own opinion.
Adobe Kenobi says, happy Thursday, y'all. Any recommendations for Halloween horror movies or even some horror slop films? I'm not a big horror guy. I did watch the trailer for Scream 7 because I was a fan of the slasher films in the 90s, which were less horror and more thriller-esque. It was interesting. I'm not going to do a review of the trailer because, of course, they'll copyright the crap out of it, and then you won't be able to like even talk about it because it'll get cut right from the trailer. But it was very interesting because if you go and watch the trailer later, it felt like what they did is the movie takes place back in Woodsboro, and they've turned the big mansion. It's not a mansion. I guess it's like a farmhouse. The big farmhouse where the whole of the last third act of movie 1 takes place, which is one of my favorite scenery shots in all of cinema, was that final scene in Scream 1 when Gail starts her like reporter monologue, and I'm assuming it's just like a 20-foot crane pans out over the mountains, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's shot perfectly, and that house is now once again where it's taking place. It's been turned into like a macabre Airbnb, where you can go to the house and rent out the house where all the children died. Maybe when you see the movie, it'll turn out that it's like a set or something, but it seems like
it's the actual
it's in continuity. It's the house where that was once the site of all of these murders has been turned into like a themed Airbnb. And I've made the comment several times that actual house goes up for Airbnb around the holiday season because the people that own it now, they deck it out with Halloween gear. Maybe they only did it the 1 year, but Halloween merch and Scream merch, and it's something that I'm sure cost a pretty penny. But it looks like all the murders and all the violence is taking place in that house again. So it's almost like a bottle episode for a TV show. You get to hear a lot of Roger L. Jackson's voice as Ghostface. He pretty much sounds the same, which is, people's voice changes after first movie came out in 95, so 30 years ago. Sounds pretty much the same. It's really, really good. I enjoyed the trailer. I'll probably wait till it comes out on streaming, though.
Would you ever stay at one of those gimmick Airbnbs?
No.
Just for fun?
No. I'm not washing the sheets the next morning.
Oh, well, with that, I mean, that's every Airbnb that makes you do stuff like that.
That's what I'm just saying. I'm not going to stay at an Airbnb.
I am personally suspicious of Airbnbs in general because I'm like, I see these horror stories where the Airbnb owner is like looking at the residents through Ring cameras and secret cameras, and I'm just like, I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
Going on. I mean, it happens in hotels too sometimes, but you can at least trust the hotels a little bit more. Yep. Airbnbs, no, and you're right. They make you go through a whole chore list afterwards, which is just like
doing that.
No.
All right, let's move on.
Actually, I just wanted to add, the selling point used to be the Airbnbs were cheaper.
Yeah.
And they're not. They're sometimes like exorbitantly more expensive than just a chain hotel with none of the perks.
Now you pay for like going out someplace unique.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, guys, Quentin Tarantino is publishing a book. And it's about the making of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Rolling Stone published a write-up on the process, and they mentioned that he went looking for the perfect 1960s killer hippies and discovered a handful of the 21st century's biggest stars. One of them is Maya Hawke. She is the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman, and that's the entire reason why she has a career in Hollywood. She doesn't seem to realize that, and she goes back and forth about whether she should own the fact that she is a Nepo baby and hasn't earned any of her success.
Hasn't she learned from all of the white guilt in Hollywood? You have to just own it.
Yeah. In this Rolling Stone article, Maya Hawke talks about the process of auditioning for the movie, and she says she recalls feeling scared while auditioning for Quentin Tarantino. And she, for context, has known him since she was literally a baby, like literally in diapers.
But he's a different person when he's auditioning for a movie.
She said, I've known him my whole life, but of course, in the room that day, he was very different, He wasn't like kooky Uncle Quentin. He was in serious mode. So what she wants us to believe is that kooky Uncle Quentin got real serious and he was just judging her based on her acting abilities.
Do you think
she totally had to earn that role? It had nothing to do with her parents.
Do you think Ethan and Uma, after she got the role, like called up Quentin and were like, hey, just because we've been friends for a long time, no foot stuff.
This is just
no foot stuff. Do not make our daughter do foot stuff.
They gotta keep him on a tight leash there. But
actually, knowing Ethan Hawke, he probably would have been like, you got to do the foot stuff if you're gonna really embrace the character.
Does anyone genuinely believe that she would have made it to that room to audition, let alone get the role, if it weren't for her parents and their careers?
Yeah.
Does she believe that?
No.
even more puzzling. If she believes that. That's insane.
I don't believe that she believes that.
And everyone is just like, come on now. Like, it's fine. You can just admit that you had a leg up. It's like no one hates you for being a Nepo baby. The reason why Nepo babies get so much shit is because they never own up to it. They always want to pretend that they would have been successful regardless.
Yeah.
And like Willow Smith said that she believes she would have been successful without her parents and that they had nothing to do with her music career.
What I'm going to need these celebrities to do, they're going to have to take lead from the great Shane McMahon, who is the son of Vince McMahon. And despite the fact that he was the son of a billionaire, he constantly did insane shit that he never needed to do. Falling off of the top of Titantrons and choke slammed off cages and hit in the head with steel chairs. Bro didn't need to do that. Bro lived the gimmick, but like he did not care. And to the credit of Vince McMahon, despite the fact that he was a billionaire who owned the company, he also allowed himself to be humiliated and beat up on camera. He understood that that's what sold. Right? He understood that evil Vince McMahon only works if Stone Cold Steve Austin gets to beat him up. But Shane McMahon didn't need to do that. Shane McMahon didn't need to be just constantly being thrown off of large surfaces very high in the air. But he did it anyways because he loved what he did.
It was continuing the family legacy. Yep. He could have done anything for a living, really.
He could have.
He could have
did
become
other stuff.
A painter. He could have been a therapist. He could have been a school teacher. And there would be nothing wrong with that. But what people find so obnoxious about the Hollywood Nepo babies is that, of course, it comes up from time to time. And they never are just honest about the fact that they had an opportunity that other people wouldn't have.
Is there any of the Nepo babies that have leaned into it that you know of?
I recall Hailey Bieber stepping out for paparazzi in a shirt that said Nepo baby one time. So that's kind of owning it.
Like,
she's part of the Baldwin family, obviously.
I think one of the, maybe this is a little bit too esoteric, but I think the kind of the fluid nature in which you hire professionals in that industry, the complete subjectivity of the art makes it a lot harder for them. Meaning that, like, okay, so if Bob, the computer scientist, has a son who's also a very, very smart, engineer, he still has to live and die on whether his theorems work or the programs he creates work. But in art, it's so subjective that it almost it neglects the idea that their talent matters because nobody knows.
Well, that reminds me of another Nepo baby. Bill Gates' daughter, Phoebe.
And Steve Jobs' daughter going viral lately.
Yeah. But Phoebe started her own podcast.
Charlie Sheen is a Nepo baby. Somebody in the chat said Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen is a Nepo baby. Martin Sheen.
Yeah. I would be remiss not to mention Maya Hawke in a different interview with The Hollywood Reporter saying that nepotism did play a role in her casting in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She said, "I'm comfortable with not deserving it and doing it anyway."
Who said this?
Maya Hawke.
But
that was last year. And now she has a change of tune.
What she said there was perfect. Like, what she said there last year was perfect. That's exactly what she should have said.
She said, deserves is a complicated word. There are so many people who deserve to have this kind of life who don't, but I think I'm comfortable with not deserving it and doing it anyway. And I know that my not doing it wouldn't help anyone.
Well, I
saw two paths when I was first starting, and one of them was change your name, get a nose job, and go to open casting roles.
Well, that's what, so Emilio Estevez is a good example. He's also the son of Martin Sheen. And he did not go by Sheen.
I'm just never going to get over the fact that Ethan Hawke directed Maya Hawke's sex scenes in her movie.
Yep.
I can't get past that. Every time I hear about them, I remember and I'm just disgusted.
Also, Jamie Lee Curtis came up.
Yeah, she did an interview with Variety recently where her Nepo credentials were brought up, and they mentioned that at 66, Jamie Lee Curtis downplays her childhood with her famous parents, Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh, saying that she had a comfortable but not fancy LA life, with her mother and Maureen's stepfather after her father abandoned the family for a 17-year-old. She says, show business wasn't evident to me as a child. I mean, there are a couple of pictures of me on sets with my sister, but I don't have a memory of any of it. Any of it, just none of it. But the fact is, whatever powerful juju ran through her parents' veins was passed on to their daughter, so much so that she has been part of the American consciousness since she was 19, when she headlined Halloween, the template-setting slasher film.
I don't think I even knew that she was who she was related to until many, many years later. Like,
and that's
many years later. The same is true of a couple of them. Like, it's not just her. Like I said, Charlie Sheen being who he was, or Nicolas Cage.
Right.
Like, those are ones that I didn't know about. Or Angelina Jolie. John Voight, right?
There are
like
countless examples
who just were so good that eventually it didn't matter.
Right.
Like, if the topic got brought up, it's like, why are you always bringing up old shit?
Right.
Like, what do you mean?
But then this is the funny part. She said that back when she was a kid, she thought of herself as someone with no tangible abilities and no intelligence. I was a D+ student, C- if you graded on a curve. I wasn't an auditory learner. I was a cheerleader. I was kind of a weirdo. I was this girl at 16, full of energy and personality, but I had no intelligence. I wasn't an athlete. I wasn't in the plays. I was on the periphery, and I became an actor by accident.
Remember, they're always going to tell you how to vote, but they're like, by the way.
But I have zero intelligence.
Yeah.
I saw this post recently with a collage of different Nepo babies, some of whom I already knew about and others I didn't recognize at all, saying maybe nepotism isn't so bad. If you guys can look at this collage of faces and identify them for me, that would be much appreciated. I recognized Margaret Qualley, Jack Quaid, Bill Skarsgård,
Zoe Kravitz.
Don't know the other two in that row. There's Zoe Kravitz, Lily Rose Depp, Maya Hawke, of course, and then the rest of them I have no idea who they are.
Is that kid who is that kid in the bottom middle? Looks like it could be Dolph Lundgren's kid.
Don't know. They also mentioned Maud Apatow, who is in Euphoria, and she was terrible. I mean, horrible at acting. And she just literally got the role in Euphoria because of her parents. And her sister, Iris Apatow, was able to walk the Victoria's Secret fashion show this year, also because of her last name, as was Kate Moss's daughter, Lila. They also mentioned Dakota Johnson. She's a lesser-known Nepo baby.
Yeah.
And
who are her parents?
I don't even know who her parents are. That's the point, I guess, is that she eclipsed them. Nicolas Cage, of course, Angelina Jolie.
So there's an interesting one. So somebody brought up the Carradine.
Gyllenhaals.
Somebody brought up the Carradine family. Like Robert Carradine was is a big Hollywood producer. But if you go down the list, the one that I always knew was Keith Carradine, who was a very, very big actor. But he has I think it's his sister, Ever Carradine, and the whole family. Like if you go through it, like every family member has an IMDb page. Like every single one of them.
Yeah, it sometimes is just a family dynasty thing.
Yep.
And again, no one's ever saying that there's something wrong with that.
Okay,
there is
niece
something
of-
wrong with denying it.
So she's the daughter of Robert Carradine and Susan Snyder, niece of actors Keith Carradine and David Carradine, cousin of actresses Martha Plimpton and Kansas Carradine and actor Tom Carradine, granddaughter of John Carradine. They're all just it's all in the family.
You forgot Northwest as Simba
Yes.
in The Lion King at the Hollywood Bowl. Iconic. Yeah.
Oh, it's Don. Yes, it's Don Johnson's daughter, Dakota Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I wanted to mention this cover of the New Yorker, New York Magazine from, I believe, 2023. The Nepo babies never outlived this one. Like, I knew when I saw this, they were never going to live it down. Oh, look, she has her mother's eyes and agent. Extremely overanalyzing Hollywood's Nepo baby boom. And there was never any judgment passed on whether they should take advantage of that that privilege that they have. It was only mentioned that some of them try to skirt around the issue.
It's always funny. So one of my favorite types of stories that has completely run out of steam in society because it just wouldn't resonate with anybody anymore is like the parents who own a business and they want their kid to take over, or the dad's a doctor and he has his own practice and he wants the son to take over the practice for him. Something where like all they have to do is like meet the requirements and they have like a job for life. And the kid's always like, I want to do my own thing. I don't want to be in this stupid town. I want to get out. I don't want to own a video store. I don't want to own this or that. I don't want to be like your type of doctor. The idea is that like you're going to go out on your own and you're going to forge your own path. Now the economy sucks so bad. Everybody's just looking for that. Like, it's like if my parents owned a store and the idea was that I could take it over for them, I would have done that in a heartbeat.
I also wanted to mention one person who's not going to enjoy the benefits of nepotism, and it's Simon Cowell's son. Allegedly. I can't find any evidence of this,
yes,
but
this is one of the, assuming that this was true, this is one of the most abhorrent things you're going to see ever.
This is the most boomer shit you're ever going to hear. Are you ready? Simon Cowell, 66, plans to leave no assets to his son. Quote, I don't believe in passing down from generation to generation. His $600 million net worth will go to children's or dogs' charities. I'm not too interested in money, but I don't aim to have some pot of gold for my son. I'll take what my folks stated. College will be paid for, and then you must start. So he's literally saying, if this is true, dogs are more deserving of my wealth than you, my son.
It's like, hey, remember when I graduated college in 1982 and rent was $5 a month?
I mean, people cannot relate to this because, I mean, I think most men would say the only reason they spend so much time away from their families working hard to build
take
wealth
care of them
is that they will be taken care of once they've passed on. What else is it worth? I mean, he's clearly, given Simon Cowell's career, he's clearly had to spend a lot of time dedicated to work away from his family. For what? For the dogs?
Is this one of those things where the kids end up on the board of the charities so they get paid but differently?
It appears that this claim is true. It says Simon Cowell has consistently stated that he will not leave his fortune to his son Eric, choosing instead to donate his wealth to charitable causes focused on children and animals. This decision, rooted in his belief that generational wealth is not beneficial, reflects his desire to leave a legacy built on opportunity and mentorship rather than financial inheritance.
So the idea has always been that, like, generational wealth only survives a couple of generations anyways, right? Because oftentimes they say the kids don't have the same work ethic or the same I guess his would be charisma. He has to have more than just like business sense. He's got to have he would have to find another way to continue the family's wealth.
It certainly depends on the family, though, because I believe Alex Soros is going to be a billionaire for the rest of his days, as is his son, and it depends on the family.
$600 million could go down the drain real fast with bad investments in a couple of generations.
Sure, but
the point is to just say no, we're not. It is the most like boomer coded thing you've ever heard to fetishize that level of struggle and pretend like getting out of college is the same now as it was back when you were a wee chap is insane. Also, that basically means is like let's be real. It's not going to dogs. It's not going to children. It's going to the salaries of annoying people that work on the boards of these 501c3s and 4s.
Right, exactly. But he's clearly, despite being so wealthy, he probably has very little financial literacy, so he doesn't even understand that.
And honestly, that's not even like, even if he did his due diligence and these are the best charities to ever charity that have ever charitied before, and almost every penny goes to the cause. That's still $600 million to a dog you don't know over the son that you, I guess, kind of raised because you were probably away from home a lot. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I once made a joke that was on TikTok. I was like, you know, like, I don't normally say this, but like, eat the rich because they don't fund art anymore. And I'm like pointing at all these examples of art over the centuries and millennia that's been financed and commissioned by the ultra wealthy elite. They don't do that anymore. What they do is give it to, as you said, useless NGOs that completely exist to propagate the need for their own existence. If they want to leave a mark on the world and feel like they're giving back to the global community in some way, you know, commission the making of something grandiose and lasting. and you'll be credited for that. I think that's a great way to give back if you feel like you're undeserving of your wealth. But people are right to be outraged by headlines like this. It's not just Simon Cowell. There are plenty of other examples. I believe Jackie Chan is one of them.
Yes, he's another one of the big ones.
Plenty.
I mean, that's probably because the government's going to keep it.
Well, yeah. Also, he's like a CCP foot soldier. But there are plenty of examples of celebrities who say similar things, that they're not going to pass on their wealth to their kids. And I think it's reprehensible.
It's one of those things that is, it's a sign of just how far along your political journey you are. Whereas, like, if you're generically uninformed about politics or the economy, you read a story like this, you're like, you know what? Good for him. You know, you don't want to give those kids a free ride. Like, that is something that was still a thing maybe in 2016. Nobody's buying that anymore.
Well, because when people hear something like that, they're thinking about maybe like someone who was in their social circle. Maybe they went to the same school, and their dad like funded their whole lifestyle and didn't make them get a job.
No,
that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about someone with nearly they're on the right side of $1 billion. And they're planning to basically flush all of it down the toilet. That's a different situation than, you know, an upper middle class dad who makes, you know, some number of hundreds of thousands a year in salary and pays for his entire kid's existence and never makes them learn work ethic. That's a different conversation entirely.
He's also, you know what? He's also not allowed to be on my health insurance.
Like, you know, you can do both. You can, first of all, give your kids a leg up in countless ways, but you can also teach them to work hard and create their own luck too. Like, it's not a mutually exclusive deal. He's
gonna be like, I got him jobs. I made sure that he was employed. It's like, yeah, okay. So what? What does the $600 million need to be in the coffers of some charity for?
Like if you want to donate, give it to like PETA.
Like, is $300 million not enough? You couldn't save $300 million of it? Ugh.
Anyways, let's read some super chats. Corey Anderson said, F the Dodgers, go BJs. I don't know what that means because I don't follow sports.
It's the Blue Jays. Yeah, so look, right now, what the Blue Jays are up, right? They won last night in the World Series.
Are you following this?
I follow on John Boy. I follow the social media updates on the games and stuff like that. I mainly just like seeing how good Shohei Ohtani is at baseball and seeing Freddie Freeman hit that that walk-off homer in the 18th inning was incredible. But in general, I don't have any hate for the Dodgers like most of the baseball world, but I have to, and either way I have to root for them because I can't root for a Canadian team on principle.
On principle of being Minnesotan?
Just because they're Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
On principle of being American.
Yes, yeah. I can't. No Canadian team can get my support. I'm sorry, guys.
Corey Anderson said the Sweeney Queen looked great in that red dress. No shade against the red dress. It just was very CPAC. It was giving CPAC.
You ever like at these big dress stores, you go and they're like, give me the CPAC look. They're like, say less.
On it. Yeah. It's always the same. What is it called? Like a sheath dress. It's in like red or blue or black. Corey Anderson said, would you rather have earwax come out of your tear ducts or have your breath smell like tuna fish? As much as I hate earwax, I would choose the earwax.
Yeah, earwax coming out of the tear ducts. Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't want tuna fish breath. That's disgusting.
That sounds like I don't know. I would want neither.
Let's do one more.
Okay. Rural Conservative said, to quote Bluto in a Popeye cartoon, no ladies a better man than I am.
Okay.
What?
I never watched the Popeye cartoons. I'm old, but I'm not that old.
I remember for some reason that I did, but I have no idea what reference that is.
All right. They were asking in the chat. Somebody asked what CPAC was.
Oh,
life
you guys
is better.
Don't know what CPAC is.
Well, most of them do. They're answering. They're answering for them. Like that's like somebody yesterday said, "What's Slack?" And I'm like, oh.
For the listeners, it's the Conservative Political Action Conference, and it used to be a big deal, and now they kind of fell off. Yep. No one cares about them anymore.
All right, let's move on.
Guys, we are early to everything. We always call it first. We're early. And this time especially, I recall back in September of last year, we talked about the promo for this upcoming technology called Neo Beta. It's a humanoid robot house servant, and they had their prototype in this promo video that we reacted to last year. It was prior to their launch. They have now announced officially the launch of Neo for purchase. You can either subscribe for $500 a month, or you can buy it outright at $20,000 on their website. Surprisingly cheap, and exactly as Phil predicted it.
Yeah, he was right on.
It's appropriate that it came up on Thrashing Thursday. He did predict that these robots would be priced at about $20,000. It's about what a lot of people are irresponsibly spending on leased cars these days. So I wanted to show the original promo and then compare it with what they have unveiled to the public now. This is what we saw last year. A faceless humanoid robot that is wearing this like black and gray tracksuit. Little bit of clumsy movements. And I guess if you're too lazy to pick up your backpack, you can have him pick up your backpack for you. Totally necessary, right?
Somebody needs to make the real version of this where like anxious and hyperactive me is like, could you hurry it up?
No, like watching all of the videos of this robot gave me anxiety because he walks slow. He does everything painfully slowly. So that was what they showed us last year before launching the product.
There's a 20 from Pop Culture Junkie.
Oh, missed that one. Let me find it. During my time in Houston, hung out in some establishments that were frequented by trust fund babies. Tipped the lowest. They were walking, talking towers of privilege. The only thing they were proud of was their Amex Black card.
I still think their parents should leave their money to them.
Yeah, I agree. Like, even if they're bad people. I mean, you can definitely, you know, do something to make your trust fund baby a little less intolerable to be around. But anyway, they just launched the new version of Neo and have made some design changes to make him seem less threatening. They added eyes and a very plush look to the robot. Here he is in the promo video, but I want to preface this. This is about a 10-minute long ad for Neo, and this upcoming part, can you pause it?
Yes.
This upcoming part is the wrinkle in the entire plan. Okay. So they're telling you all about all of his capabilities and everything he can help you with around the house. They're showing videos of him like doing laundry, bringing in your groceries, opening the door for guests, etc. Very simple tasks, watering plants maybe. But then you get to the middle of the video and here's where they bury the worst part, which is that he's a work in progress, and essentially you're going to have to invite Neo into your home to help them finish the product. If he can't commit to using AI for a given task, what will happen is you have to enable 1X mode, and what that means is he gets autonomously controlled by a remote expert in a call center somewhere in India, and they're going to be surveilling upon your home, and you are paying for the privilege of providing your private information and data to this company so that they can come up with a better product later down the line.
I'm so excited to not watch whatever movie gets made about this concept.
Here's the little detail that they mention in the middle, just as if it's no big deal.
Should I press play? Okay.
Give you your time back. You give your Neo a list of chores, you schedule a time that you want them done so that you can focus on what matters to you while your Neo does the rest. You can schedule chores by either talking to your Neo or using the app. The way it works is you schedule a time that works best for you, and then you create a list of chores. Whether it's something
simple,
more
right?
specific, like watering the plants on Tuesdays, or something more general, like tidying the house, your Neo will get it done at the scheduled time. If there are any chores that your Neo hasn't learned how to do autonomously, you can use expert mode to have an expert from 1X supervise the session and provide corrective intervention to help Neo complete any task.
There he is, hanging up the coats.
Laundry.
It's vacuuming for...
Anytime you're away from home and you want to see what your Neo's up to, you can open the app and see directly from Neo's point of view.
It's doing a load of laundry there, really slowly. Unloading the dishwasher really slowly. Okay?
Yeah.
Wait for it. He's placing a pen there. Interesting. He's able to clean a toilet, I guess.
Well, I mean,
Here he is washing his hands. There you go. Okay. Wait for it. Now they give you the big reveal. Self-charging. Are we at the 5-minute mark yet?
We are at the 6-minute mark.
Oh, I meant to go to the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, we're at the 6-minute mark. 6:30.
It was at 5 minutes that they tell you.
Oh, that we did see that.
Right?
Yeah, we already watched that.
Did they delete it?
No, we watched it. This is the 5-minute mark.
You sure?
You can use expert mode to have
There
an
it
expert
is.
from 1X
We did
supervise the
this. We watched
session
this.
and provide
No,
corrective
no.
intervention to help
You turned off the
any
sound. Go back. Go back.
plants on Tuesdays, or something more general, like tidying the house.
Expert
Your Neo will
mode,
get it
guys.
done at the scheduled time. If there are any chores that your Neo hasn't learned how to do autonomously, you can use expert mode to have an expert from 1X supervise the session and provide corrective intervention to help Neo complete any task.
Okay, so what that means is that it turns on the camera for a human to go into your house and I guess do whatever the robot is still incapable of doing because this isn't a finished product.
Yeah.
You're the test bunny, you know? Like, that's the point.
It's even worse than getting it for free to be the test bunny.
Yeah. So other people have pointed out that this is partially a subscription plan if you can't put down $20,000.
Of course, yeah.
And that has prompted the making of these memes I'm about to show you.
Yes.
Neo waking you up in the morning. Good morning. Your payment has declined.
Ah.
And then with the pillow,
Ah.
your payment was declined for the 3rd time, and this is your final reminder to update the credit card on file. This is, I mean, what's the plan if you don't pay the subscription fee? Does it
just
kill
turns
you?
off. No, in my headcanon, what it does is it sets itself down in a really, really like cumbersome place where you have to like move around it. It's just really annoying until you pay the fee.
And Grums tweeted about this, and just like that, Neo is dead. Wall Street Journal did a video interview and demo. In the demo, it's 100% remote operated.
Yeah.
You gotta let a call center into your house, watching everything you do, and have it remote control your robot to get anything done. Nobody will accept this. That's where you're wrong. Some people will accept this.
Yeah.
And they will pay for the privilege of having this tech in their household. And then there was another user that posted evidence of the Neo being remote control operated. It is not actually autonomous as advertised. Behind the scenes, it will be teleoperated by humans, meaning someone, somewhere, could literally remote control a robot inside your living room. I wanted the dawn of embodied AI. Instead, I'm apparently paying $500 a month for a robot avatar with a human pilot. It's impressive tech, but also kind of dystopian. A robot that looks alive, yet secretly puppeteered the uncanny valley you just got a new basement level. Feels less like the post-labor future and more like we just outsourced physical presence itself. You could just as easily and more cheaply hire a human being to be your housemaid, and they'd get more done more efficiently.
Quicker.
Here's another problem. You can't get Neo wet because he is a robot. Can't go outside.
He can wash his hands, but he's got the gloves over
Only
it.
the hands are waterproof. The rest of it can't get wet. And they said, you know, I guess you'll have to throw it in rice. Here's another video of the Neo attempting to close a dishwasher because it can't wash anything by hand without endangering the tech underneath the suit. It can't even do this. It has not sufficient motor skills to close a dishwasher for $20,000. Like, I just didn't they think of this before putting it out for sale?
Apparently not.
I'm pissed.
Like,
this is a scam.
First round of testing is just like, they're like, you know what? We'll fix it as we go. We'll patch.
Crazy. Yeah. So, I mean, they did admit that it's not finished. I get that. But they really tried to gloss over how creepy it is to invite their remote employees into your house. I mean, who knows what could be going on? You could have your kids in your house. You could be naked. Who knows what they're looking at? It's just not. No one wants that.
I wonder if people felt that way when OnStar became a thing in your car, and you could like call the OnStar operator for like help.
Right.
Like,
but that's different, you know? That's something you actually need.
Yeah. I would never want this. I don't think that I'm necessarily a Luddite per se, but I don't have the patience for, even if it was fluid and moved pretty well, I would still be the person who would want to do it himself.
Oh, it shows you a demonstration where it says, like, the guy says, Neo, take my glass of water to the kitchen and put it away.
67 seconds to grab water.
It's insanely slow. It's like creeping up to you, and it breaks down each task into different parts.
What you should think about is think of the act of doing it yourself as like an investment in like feeling good about yourself, right? The money you save on top of the fact that you did those tasks are actually really important. Doing the dishes, sweeping, making the bed in the morning, all of the things to keep your place tidy and as Spartan as possible. That stuff matters. It's part of like your self-esteem and the way that you see the world. Like when I'm not taking, like when I lived alone, I could actually probably correlate a lot of the mood or the tone of my life with how clean my place was, or how much I was actually taking care of those types of things. Was I folding all the laundry, or was I just, leaving it in the clothes hamper?
Right. And I agree with you that those seemingly mundane tasks are important for us to feel. I mean, I think it's important in the action itself and the result to feel that it's earned, to do something that is repetitive and mundane for the opportunity to think about things on a deeper level instead of just consuming media.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to a podcast while washing the dishes, actually. You could wash the dishes and think about your life. 5 minutes. Think about your future. Those things are so important, and I don't think that's being talked about enough.
Make your bed,
you
buckle.
can say, oh, well, once they're cheaper, once they're more efficient, you're totally going to get one. You can say that, but like, that's still not an argument. It's come up as well on IRL, like time to time, people talk about Neuralink, and I say I would never get Neuralink, even if I were in a situation where, someone could tell me like you could get Neuralink and cure yourself of whatever like ailment. You could be paralyzed and then get Neuralink so that you can use your legs. That's not a capability it currently has, but in the future, possibly.
Yeah.
I said I wouldn't do it, and then like Tim just said like, yeah, you would, and it's like, well, that's not really an argument. And even if I were a hypocrite and said I would do one thing and did another, that's still not an argument against why I object to Neuralink. That's still not an argument.
All of the tasks that this is in, like that this wants to take care of in your life, are things that I think are important.
It has taken up the space for humans to help other humans, which has inherent value. Our work has inherent value.
Your relationship with like your spouse at home, like what chores are you in charge of? What chores are they in charge of? Do you guys have some system for taking care of things where you switch off on certain things, but certain things are set in stone that this person does this and this person does that? It's more than just an act of getting something annoying done. It's a collaborative part of the human experience.
Right. And that's just getting totally erased. The selling point, according to the founder or CEO in the video, is that like when you introduce an AI servant into your home, you're freeing up your time to do what truly fulfills you. And this is a very sinister concept, that you can't be fulfilled by work.
Yeah.
That's entirely untrue. And it's actually kind of communist if you think about it.
I actually feel better after getting stuff done.
And it shows like, oh, look at these Neo customers who are spending their time watercoloring instead of washing the dishes, as if one is inherently more worthy of your time than the other.
Yeah.
I completely disagree with that philosophy of work. And I also want to mention another great way that you can use AI to enhance your life. Apple Maps is moving ahead with plans to use AI to enhance their new targeted ads on your maps.
It's like right when you're about to take a right. It's like,
It says Apple is allowing businesses to pay to have their details featured more prominently within the app's searches. If this turns out where I'm like using maps to go somewhere and I have pop-up ads, I mean, people are going to crash their cars and die over this.
I'm assuming that this is going to be something where it's like you're going to hit go for your destination and it's going to make you you watch it before it starts. Or like if you change your destination while in motion, it will prevent the ad from showing.
What if you put a hospital into your destination?
That's your
your
like,
wife
way
is
out.
in the passenger seat giving birth, and you're like, sorry, honey, I have to go through this 30-second ad for Hardee's.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the popular new business model called "Let's piss everyone off."
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. It's just like, I'll believe it when I see it about the AI stuff. It's the selling point is that it's making everything so much easier and more convenient. And then in practice, this is what it is. It's an Indian call center employee in your living room.
I like so this year where I keep my clothes, right? I keep shirts hung up and I like have like pants and stuff on like shelves on a wall. And what would happen is like, because of the way my brain works, is like every section is for specific stuff. Skating pants up here, work pants summer, work pants winter.
Mm-hmm.
Over here is shorts. Over here is everything had a place, right? But what would happen is I'd be getting up and getting ready for work and it's dark. So stuff would just get thrown around. I labeled every single shelf, and since then everything goes back exactly where it needs to go because I can squint and look at which shelf it needs to go to. I'd rather do that myself than have Neo over here try and do that for me. And I don't think my wife would take kindly to the idea that like she's like in the bedroom like on her phone and like the robot comes in to pick up my clothes that my lazy ass just left on the floor. Pick your own damn clothes up.
Yeah, I think this is also speaking to the denigration of the value of homemaking and housework in general, and that's why women these days tend to view it as a form of slavery.
They think they should get specific salaries just for doing the housework.
That whole discourse, there's nothing undignified about taking care of your own home, about cooking meals for your family, about doing the laundry for your family.
Is Neo gonna open a jar for your wife that can't get undone? Because you might lose her to Neo if he does that. Like if there's a pickle jar
currently though,
and you're not home and she's like, honey, Neo had to do that. And then you're like, then you're going to side eye Neo when you get home. You're like, what, are you trying to take my woman?
For the time being, Neo fortunately does not have any romantic features.
Thank goodness.
Thank you, Lucky Stars, for that.
All right, let's go to Super Chats.
Corey Anderson said, so leftists believe trans is a derogatory term. Apparently, that's a new development.
Guys, we're like
noticed.
3/4 of the way to a second crisis party. Remember, all money doesn't go to the Climate Justice Fund.
Now, if you ask Hailey Bieber, actually, being called trans if you're not trans is actually a compliment. It's the highest compliment because, according to her, trans women are the most beautiful women in the world. Grolgar said, I blame Will and Grace for some of my indoctrination. Why?
It was you know what Will and Grace was? It was a show about
Never watched
it. I mean, I never watched it, but it was famously of one of the early examples of like gay representation on TV. Eric McCormick, not Will, because Will's his character name. Eric McCormick famously played that character. It's funny because I've been rewatching episodes of a show called Perception, which he did in like 2013, where he plays he's a schizophrenic college professor that helps the FBI solve crimes. It's like literally made for me. So I would go through and I was like looking at old interviews of his, and he was talking about like playing that character because he's straight, married with a wife for many years. I think they're like separated now, but they've been married for like 20 years or something like that. And talked about playing that character and what it meant at that time. And of course the discussion comes up about like, is it appropriate to do that now that, you know, you're supposed to only hire gay actors to play gay characters or something like that. So
that seems like such a quaint culture war issue,
isn't it? Like of yesteryear.
Yeah,
he's a great actor though. Eric McCormick is great. He was also great in Travelers.
Shane H. Wilder said, make it stop, make it stop. Make what stop? I don't remember.
No.
The cringe?
No.
That scared me. Corey Anderson said, culture war kittens rise up and request a cat shirt.
I do want to make a cat shirt.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Corey Anderson, Billie's brother is more responsible for her career than she is. If Phineas and Ferb wasn't producing her music, she would be nothing. A lot of people have claimed that he's the brains behind the operation.
Mm-hmm.
He produced her early music and I think wrote a lot of the songs as well.
I asked a question that I brought up on here once. I asked on X like a couple weeks ago. I said, is like the popularity of like Forrest Frank because of Billie Eilish's stuff from like the 2010s. You know, it was also slow and plodding. That was what music was. And the pop music in the 2010s was nothing but slow and plodding.
That's not true, at least for the early 2010. Actually, no, the entire 2010s had all of the EDM stuff.
Listen to old videos from the YouTuber A Dose of Buckley when he would do his top 10 worst songs of the year list. And he would be, it was always like, why is there a BPM change? Why is everything so freaking slow and boring? Why is music like this now?
I would say that goes for the 2020s pop music, not the 2010s.
Well, he was, I mean, I don't have the examples offhand, but when Bad Guy, like that's just like, bleh, like, you need some upbeat stuff now.
Bad Guy is her most upbeat song. It goes the dun, 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 dun.
Still slower than a lot of the stuff that used to come out. Like pop music used to be very fast paced.
Yeah, it made you want to get up out of bed in the
Britney
morning.
Spears music would make you want to get up out of bed.
But I'm still thinking of like a lot of the upbeat EDM and indie music of the early 2010s especially. It was very happy clappy, for lack of a better term. A lot of EDM stuff. Shane H. Wilder, or no, sorry, Corey Anderson said, oh, that one was about Phineas. Pokemon said, I'm helping. Thank you for helping our cause against climate justice.
That's what's important. We need to not, remember, with your help, we cannot solve climate justice together.
Shane H. Wilder said, I do believe Miss Rachel is a demon. I mean, she sounds like him from Powerpuff Girls. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't know if I've listened to enough Miss Rachel to know.
I don't watch Miss Rachel. That would be weird.
I don't care for children's entertainers that they talk to the audience like this. Yeah. I don't think kids like want to be talked down to. I think they should be spoken to with
Clearly,
an adult
she's popular.
cadence. I think she's popular because she features a ton of really bright, eye-catching animations in her videos, and she talks in a stupid voice. She's certainly not the Mr. Rogers of her generation. No. And it's proven that when you're in your early developmental years, you actually experience colors as brighter than they are and sounds as louder than they are. She has her videos full of jump cuts and animations and colors and sound effects that keep kids interested because they have zero attention span these days.
She's like, do you guys want some pretzels?
I don't think that children should be talked to in baby talk all the time. They need to hear the way that adults speak. Shane H. Wilder said, thanks, Mary. I'm still planning everything out. I've been to the Texas March for Life. It was mostly nuns and students from the UT Newman Center.
I mean, what I saw for the most part when I was there was it was a lot of college students, people from Christian colleges.
Yeah. My college and my high school would make a yearly trip for March for Life. Unless the bus driver refused to go.
Why?
Because of the snow.
Oh, I was like, he's not that he's pro-choice. He's just like, I don't like the babies enough to.
He's like, no, I'm like pro-life for myself today.
Pro my life.
Yeah, I'm pro my life today. Yeah. Brian Bledsoe said, can neither confirm or deny taking DVDs and leaving the box was a thing. Okay, I was right. I knew it. Corey Anderson said he is a Skarsgård. He was Eric in True Blood.
Oh.
Bill Skarsgård was that Alex Skarsgård? Probably. I can never keep track of which is which. I thought that Bill Skarsgård was the more famous of the two of them. Am I right about that?
Bill Skarsgård's the one I always think of.
Yeah. But there are like countless Skarsgård children. One of them is like 10 years old. That's a big family.
Alex Skarsgård was he was Tarzan in the 2016 Tarzan.
Let me see.
Or was he was somebody else in Tarzan?
There are 8 Skarsgård children.
So many of them.
Alex, Bill, Gustav, Sam, Vulter, Ossian, and Kolbjorn.
It's a lot of Skarsgårds.
That's a whole dynasty. Okay. Greg Duvier said Rockefeller and Carnegie were on a race to see who was the richest person in the world. When their monopolies were broken, it turned into who could donate the most. I'm not familiar with that history. Shane H. Wilder said, I could understand if the money was left to his wife, mother of his son, with the knowledge that when she passes, it goes to the son. This is not that.
Yeah?
Nope. It's just going to the dogs. Because, you know, dogs are more deserving of his $600 million.
I didn't see
flesh and blood.
The Destroyer to Ultros says, no, Brett, he was Tarzan. I didn't see the 2016 Tarzan, but it said on the IMDb, it said John Clayton / Tarzan. So I don't know what that means.
Corey Anderson said, I am a San Francisco Giants fan. I hate the Dodgers with every fiber of my being. It pains me to root for the BJs, but you can't pay me to root for the bums.
Okay.
I can't imagine feeling this strongly about sports. It's like a mystery to me.
I mean, the way people feel about politics now with their weird, like, hyper partisan political stuff. Imagine all of the fervor that people feel around sports, and then add in like real life consequences based on like policy, and you understand why people are the way they are these days.
I mean, I get why people compare politics to team sports mentality. I do.
Yeah.
But it is objectively more consequential than sports.
Yeah.
Rural Conservative said, I'm 27. I watched Popeye and Looney Tunes as a kid. Well, your parents raised you right. And Corey Anderson said, I trust Neo more than I trust Muslims.
Okay.
Okay.
I just don't want any robots in my house. At all.
Then someone would come up to you and be like,
yes,
you already have robots in your house. It's called a microwave.
So do you have like a Siri or an Alexa? No, I do not.
Yeah. Corey Anderson said, what happens if you say, Neo, take care of my wife?
Don't do that.
Just don't do that. Brian Bledsoe said, had to rewind to see what Mary was looking at when the expert mode played the first time. Yeah, they tried to kind of bury it in the middle of the promo and hope that nobody noticed, but yeah. Cancel Lincoln, the betrayal of 1776, said, just your friendly neighborhood crisis trucker saying hello.
Thank you.
Hello,
Thank
crisis
you for your work.
trucker. Thanks for tuning in. The Manic Mustache said, late as usual, but apropos to being aware, we all know it should have been rule of wrist and not rule of thumb. You should never, that doesn't mean there's not a reason to, keep them pickle jars tight. Stay toxic, my friends.
Have you ever seen the video of the guy, like, it's like me whenever my wife upsets me, and he goes and he tightens all the jars, he unscrews all the light bulbs, he turns off the water.
Yeah.
See if you need me then.
That's some good relationship advice.
Real hack.
Show her why she needs you.
Show
her what you bring to the table, kings.
Why they need us.
Punisher 5150 said, when would they sell you a robot that is, I'm not going to say that.
Assuming that word means what I think it means.
I don't want to say that. Okay.
You can't even finish a video game before it's sold. That is true. I mean, you get like half-finished games.
Yeah. Corey Anderson said, I'm not going to say that either. No.
Neither.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Corey Anderson. This is insane. Mary, would you use... Hold on. Hold, please.
Look at all of that not going to climate justice.
Yes. Thank you, guys. It feels so good.
It does. Let's get a third one.
Knowing that not a single cent is going to enact justice on the climate.
It's not going to climate justice. It's not going to anti-racist training. It's not going to fighting bigotry in the Congo or the Gongo.
It's not going to dogs.
It's not going to dogs.
Just the way I like it.
Exactly.
Okay. Corey Anderson said, Mary, would you use weed if it provably got you closer to God? I would use the conversations with God to correct the way I am living. That is a non-starter of a question, if I ever heard one. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You do not need weed or any sort of mind-altering substance to get closer to God. I think if you think that already, that just means that you've done the drugs already and you're justifying it retroactively. No, it just fries your brain and messes up your reward centers.
Yes.
Impairs
absolutely.
your ability to reason. I encourage you to look up the iconic moment of Timcast IRL where, no offense to Ian, but Milo talks to Ian about what LSD or DMT can do to your neural pathways. It's not good. Shane H. Wilder said, I made a meme of Miss Rachel and had to watch her to get footage. She has an hour-long video to teach babies to say mom by calling her mom. Pure evil. That's creepy. That is really creepy and unnecessary. Corey Anderson said, Brett, I saw iRobot and was like, nope.
I don't want any type of, like, I would rather make my life harder on myself.
I agree completely with that.
It's like an inside joke that I was the type of person where, like, if I was trying a specific skating trick, say you're skating up to a rail and the goal is to land the trick, and there's like a stick in the run up, I will do everything but just stop for 2 seconds and pick up the stick and move it. I will skate around it. I will motion over it. I will go through it. I would literally anything except for the easy thing. It's indicative of my worldview. I need to slow down sometimes, but I definitely don't want a robot doing my chores.
No,
I don't.
No, especially knowing that it can't even do the worst chores. Like it can't clean a shower. It can't mop the floors for you. It can't drive you places.
Wait, would you do that? Would you like let it drive you someplace?
Probably can't climb a ladder.
No.
You know, it can't do the majority of tasks that have to be done in the house.
Yeah.
So what's the point? Other than just like giving this company your data for free. Actually not for free. You're paying to do that. Okay. Shane H. Wilder said you don't need drugs to get closer to God, Corey. Yeah. I agree with this. Yep. Corey Anderson said, in Catholicism, is it a sin to ask hypothetical questions as long as they are not blasphemous? I am trying to ask better questions of you and not be rude. I'm not saying you're being rude, and I'm not saying it's a sin to ask hypothetical questions.
Jesse Ventura could never.
Just because something isn't a sin, though, doesn't mean you should do it. Sometimes it just is dumb and pointless. Doesn't make it evil. Yeah, I don't know. There's just no answer to that.
I like that you get the philosophical and religious questions, and I never have to worry about that. Like nobody's asking me for deep info on anything.
Having Seamus on yesterday really made people feel like we're gonna ask all the theological questions right now.
Today of all days,
and he always answers these questions with the utmost politeness and humility.
Says, I'm not a theologian, but...
And he gives great answers most of the time. He knows his stuff, and credit to him for that. I just don't have the level of patience that's required for that. That's why this isn't a theology podcast. We don't do that here. But no, you don't need to smoke weed to have conversations with God. That's literally just what prayer is. You can do that drug-free.
A question for you. Do you... You're like a pretty measured and calm person. Like, is there moments? Are there moments where like prayer is more difficult for you? If that makes sense.
Difficult as in like difficult to focus.
Focus, yeah.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's why I've taken to just writing.
I bet you that's really good for your brain for like the firing of the synapses. You're not like sitting there like needing to be like overly indulged in like different stimuli while you're doing things. Therefore, you can sit and actually focus on what you're doing.
Having to write down prayer, just that's the best way I've found to focus on what I'm doing.
Do you get more out of it when you? Is there other times where you feel like you get more out of prayer than other times? Like, is it more fruitful for you in some way?
Yeah.
Okay.
It varies.
Time to time?
It's just that...
You're like, that one just hit different.
You can't... you can't like hope for that every time, or you're not going to be consistent.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not supposed to be some kind of like breakthrough.
Skating's the same way, oddly enough.
Most things are that way.
Yeah. the point is to have a baseline of, like, I always make whenever I'm out with friends, a lot of times I have like one friend, we go to this one spot and he hates it. He can't stand it. The ground there sucks. And I'm always just like, I'm just happy to be out doing things. And sometimes the session goes really, really well. Sometimes it's barely fruitful at all. The same thing happens when I skate here or at the old location. Some days, like, there are nights where I'm just sore. I don't even know why. It's not like I was more physically active than I was the day before, but I'm getting old, so you're not always going to be loose. Weekends is different. Like, as long as it's like the first thing I do when I get up and go skate, I'm pretty good. Like, doesn't really matter. But after work all day, which is weird because like I don't have a physical labor job, but just I guess probably sitting all day is not the best for you. Like when I was in my mid 30s, before this job, I guess, I worked like on my feet. Every job that I had was on my feet, and I walked to and from work. So I was in much, much better shape just in general because I was always moving and always getting exercise. So it's like I was if I had to walk all day and then went skating, I was loose. Like my legs were loose. Now it's like, if it's like 8 p.m. and I just got home, I just drove 45 minutes to work, 45 minutes back from work, worked all day, came home, and I try to go out. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. And the key is to not get bummed out on the days where it doesn't. Just be happy you're physically capable enough to still do it, I guess, is the correlating experience.
I learned that in my mid-30s too. Yeah. Shane H. Wilder said, Corey, the Bible and the Catechism will explain things. Yeah, I think Seamus was also trying to say that yesterday.
Yeah.
Going to a podcaster for answers is maybe not the best move.
In the chat, what is that? Shane the Liver says, Brett makes it sound like he's 50. When you've been skating since you were 12, I am essentially spiritually 50.
You're an elder skater.
I'm an
elder blade.
When it comes to my knees are that of like a 50-year-old. Absolutely.
You would think it would do you good in the knees.
No. I
guess that's counterintuitive.
It is. If it was just the act of skating, that'd be one thing, kind of like swimming. But no.
Yeah.
No, your body takes a beating.
Robert Delara said, Mary is right. Just because it is not a sin does not mean you should do it. For example, ordering a burger at Waffle House. Had to joke about it. Yeah. I second that.
You guys are wrong.
You are to never order a burger at Waffle House. It is blasphemy against Waffle House.
Now I'm going to order my burger at Waffle House even harder.
I saw this tweet yesterday that effed me up. It said, choosing between a chain restaurant is arguing about who prepares Cisco the best. I was like, damn, they're right. I looked up which restaurants don't source from Cisco, and it's like very few.
Yeah, so it's like
very few.
TGI Fridays or Applebee's. It's the same thing,
right?
Yeah.
I believe Cheesecake Factory is an exception, except if you order a salad there, it's going to be 3,000 calories for no reason.
There you go.
If you're okay with that. And I guess there's a difference between ordering ingredients and whole products,
Yeah.
Like a lot of them actually order the whole meal.
Somebody, Kloonberg says, Cisco, the thong song? No, not that Cisco.
No.
Different Cisco.
SYSCO.
Yep.
And there's also US Food, and then another one called like Performance Food Group. There are 3 companies that pretty much source all of the food that you order at chain restaurants.
The illusion of choice.
They all have the same desserts for a reason. They all have the same apps for a reason. Chief Corey Anderson said, I want to never hear Mary say Corey Anderson. I'm not reading that. Trying to turn a new leaf, so to speak.
That's a good thing, though.
That's a good goal to have. I appreciate you trying to make my life a little bit easier. The mayor of Seriostown said, it's not upbeat pop, but I listen to racing game soundtracks in the morning while working out. Gets the job done. Best ones are Drive Club and Grid.
There you go. Always good to get the blood flowing in the morning. We got a Rumble rant from Astronaut Farmer. Says Warriors, furry, is it Furies or Furries? Warriors, Furies, baseball for Halloween. Love you guys.
I think it's Furies. Okay. Hope you're not a furry for Halloween.
Don't do that. That's bad. Okay. Just making sure.
We're all caught up on the
Okay. All right.
Super Chats now.
Guys, before we go, would you guys all hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already? Please and thank you. We appreciate it.
You guys can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived. And help me get TikTok famous. That is also Mary Archived. Of course, go to castbrew.com and grab yourself a bag of Mary's Ghost Blend, my s'mores-flavored coffee. I'm going to be shilling it on IRL tonight. You can find me there. That's 8 p.m. Eastern. You were probably showing up anyway. Yep. And I also wanted to mention that I was on a debate panel on Michael Knowles' channel this morning about whether Christians should celebrate Halloween. And in case you couldn't guess my take, I'm very much pro-Halloween.
Was it live or pre-record?
I believe it was live, which is not normally what he does, but yeah, it was. I'm just going to tell you that it was super heated and we were screaming at each other and it was an intense argument. And we have one more super chat from High Voltage 75. See you tomorrow, you wokesters. We'll just stop calling you crisis actors and start calling you the wokesters.
Appreciate that, guys. If you would like to follow me, I am on Instagram and X at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. We are here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, of course, noon Pacific. Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you'd like to listen rather than just watch this show, you can also rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Social media, Twix at popculture_show, Facebook at Pop Culture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. Remember, guys, if you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, there will be a special PCC weekend update on Saturday at 5 p.m. with some additional segments that I filmed not during this podcast, so you will be getting additional content. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll be back tomorrow. Later,
Bye.
guys.